David Raya saves Arsenal, ladies and gentlemen, in their first Champions League game of the season. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Don Husam, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with yet another match reaction. Just kind of telling you my thoughts on this Arsenal-Atalanta game. Just summarizing everything. We're going to be talking about David Raya, Martinelli, the creativity issue, the Arteta test. There's a lot what I'm going to be discussing in this video. Big up to every single one of you guys. Stop what you're doing right now. Please do hit that like button. Do subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Now, let's start with the obvious. David Raya saves Arsenal. One thing I've been consistent about all season long, and this is something that, and look, people sometimes get upset and they just say you're twerking and you're glazing and blah, blah, blah. It's the typical responses. But one thing I've been consistent on this season is I've always given David Raya praise this season. I wasn't necessarily the absolute biggest fan of David Raya last season, but this season we have to give him praise, we have to give him credit. I think this guy could genuinely be the second best goalkeeper in the entire Premier League. We have to respect Alisson Becker. I'm sorry, you guys. It's not even bias. We just have to respect what Alisson Becker is, what he brings to the game and everything. But David Raya today, it's not even about the penalty save. It's about the save after that. That one is even more impressive than the penalty save. Because some people might say, yeah, Retugi had a bad penalty and he should have done this, he should have done that, blah, blah, blah. I understand that. But the follow-up after from the Retugi header, that's the one where everyone has to take a step back and go like, whoa, what a save. Because the rebound, the fact that he got up that quickly and the reflexes to go and save that header is absolutely unbelievable. So Arsenal need to thank David Raya for stopping them from losing today's game, because David Raya was absolutely sensational today. He was unbelievable. He was unbelievable. And by the way, David Raya was unbelievable against Brighton. He was unbelievable against Aston Villa. Those games he was unbelievable in as well. I mean, I'm not going to say anything about the North London derby because they didn't really pose any threat to Spurs, didn't really pose any threat to Arsenal. But Brighton and Aston Villa specifically, alongside today's game, David Raya has been absolutely incredible in those three games. One thing I do want to talk about as well is from a more positive perspective for Arsenal, before I get into the negatives and critiquing certain players, is Arsenal aren't losing games of football. So this is something that we have to keep in mind. Yes, they went away to Atalanta, they drew. Yes, they didn't get the 3 points. Yes, you'd expect Arsenal to be better than Atalanta and win. All of those are constructive, correct criticisms. However, Arsenal are not losing 1-0, losing 2-0, losing 3-0. They're keeping a clean sheet. And people need to understand something with Arsenal this season. Arsenal are taking their defending personally. They're taking it personally. Just like that MJ documentary, and I took it personally, Arsenal are just taking this defensive stuff completely personally. Saliba today, Rolls Royce at the back, tackles in here, interceptions that, in the Northern Derby was Gabriel, today was Saliba, and they all just step up at different times. Today, Saliba yet again. Listen, that back three right there, Raya, Gabriel, Saliba, solid. Defending, defend. And their defense is just so good. It's just so good, their defense. And they have to be very proud. Factually, whether people like it or not, they have the strongest defense in the Premier League. This is not an opinion. This is a fact. They had the least goals conceded last season, the most clean sheets anyway. So, yeah, they had the best defense in the league. And that defense is continuing to show it. And it hasn't changed yet. So we have to give them credit. Now, on to the negatives, on to the more criticizing Arsenal type stuff. Number one, Arsenal currently, as things stand, have such a serious lack of creativity. There is such a problem with the creativity at Arsenal. Obviously, Odegaard's injury plays, but they have to find a solution for the creativity. There is such a problem for Arsenal, that final pass. The same way with us, Arsenal have the same problem where with Liverpool, I'll talk about my own club, Mo Salah's the playmaker and the goal scorer at the same time. And it's the same thing with them and Saka. Saka's the guy that creates chances, and at the same time, he's the guy that scores goals. So if he doesn't really turn up, then the others don't really turn up. They don't step up, and Arsenal don't score any goals. And that's the problem that Arsenal currently have. Their playmaker and their goal scorer is the same person. That's why they do need a Havertz to step up. They do need a Martinelli to step up, which we'll talk about in a second. Trossard, whoever. But Arsenal have a serious lack of creativity. And I think one of the solutions could be, and hear me out, could be the guy that played left back last season, who's Zinchenko. I think there is a world in which Zinchenko could be playing the 10 that Odegaard plays. And yes, you could call me crazy and you could say, whoa, and all this, but think about what I'm saying. He has those ball playing abilities and the work rate. And actually, all of Zinchenko's best traits are actually going forward and from a creative perspective. No one looks at Zinchenko and says, wow, what an amazing fullback. He's incredible defensively and he does this and he does that and yada, 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 yada. No one says that. No one says that. But everyone acknowledges at the same time that Zinchenko going forward is not a bad player. You know, he's creative. He can create chances. So maybe the solution now for Arsenal is get Zinchenko in there. Because Calafiori, even though he's a centre back who plays as a left back, when he came on, he showed more advanced energy. You know, he showed the ability to take the ball, carry it, go forward more than a whole lot of Arsenal players tonight. And that's a centre back playing as a left back. So you need to find a solution from within because Odegaard is out for a while, you guys. Odegaard is out for a while for Arsenal Football Club. What you cannot do is fold, not create chances, not be dangerous in front of goal. So you need chance creativity. You need creativity. You need someone to create chance for you. And that could be the solution from within in terms of Zinchenko. And the final topic I want to talk about, and listen, I wanted this guy at Liverpool. Everyone remembers the Jurgen Klopp press conferences. Everyone remembers Martinelli, star boy, by the way. That's what my manager said 2 years ago, 3 years ago now. I'll be honest with you guys, Martinelli has been dreadful this year. This season, from the start of the season up until tonight, Martinelli has been absolutely dreadful, except in the North London derby. Because in the North London derby, I thought he actually had a good game. But he, today, once again, the two most dangerous chances of the game fell to him. And he wasn't clinical in the time when Arsenal needed it. Now, today, it's a 0-0 draw away at Atalanta. It's your first Champions League game, so it's not really that big of a deal. But if we replicate the same scenario and it's away at the Allianz or away at Anfield or away at the Etihad, it's a big Champions League game or a big Premier League game. I mean, the game this Sunday. What if Martinelli's through one-on-one on goal and he just shoots it straight at Ederson or skies it like he did a couple of those chances today? I mean, that just has such a negative impact on Arsenal and what they're doing this season. So Martinelli 100% is one of the people that needs to step up. 100%. And his performances this season have been so lackluster besides the North London derby game where I thought actually he had a good game. But other than that, Martinelli has just not stepped up this season, guys. He's just not stepped up this season. And this is the year where you expect him to deliver. You expect some form of consistency in front of goal. He's absolutely dreadful. From the Atalanta side, big up Ederson. I wanted them at Liverpool. He won Atalanta the penalty, and he proved that he can play in midfield against the big boys today, playing against Arsenal. So for all the people that doubt, Ederson is not as good as... He would have definitely started for Liverpool, you guys. He's a fantastic DM. But anyway, listen. Arsenal 0, Atalanta 0. Not quite the most entertaining game of football in the world. David Raya genuinely saved Arsenal today. And Martinelli must step up. But at the same time, massive credit goes to Arsenal defending for everything that they've done this season. Big up to all of you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you whenever we see you.